Okay, everyone, welcome in. It's a pleasure to have you. Give a brief moment to allow everyone to work their way into this wonderful presentation. I hope you get a lot out of it. And if there are questions, please parking lot them till the end and we'll definitely get to all of the questions. And then we love your feedback. There'll be a survey when it's all said and done. We want to make these things worth your time. So it's extremely important because we do value your time. All right, we'll begin in just a moment. Thank you again for your patience. Certainly worth the wait, I promise. So first and foremost, my name is Donovan Youssef, and I'm the membership chair out in San Diego. I've been with the NAIPC organization for coming on 2 years. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones. My focus is, what are we going to do when we don't have things to do? And what are we going to do with our freedom? And that's really all that matters to me. And there's this thing that is 10 years of lifespan and being unfortunately unhealthy. And how are we going to solve for that gap? So those are two things that are my primary focus in what I do on a daily basis, which is why I sought out this organization as I began my career. And I'll transition it over to Ryan, who's the other moderator.
Hey, everybody. My name is Ryan McAniff. I am the owner of Minute Women Home Care in Lexington, Massachusetts. We are a non-medical private home care company. We provide a few hours a day of care to 24/7 or live-ins so that seniors can stay in their home as long as they want. We can provide care for people in their private residence, in assisted livings, nursing homes, anywhere they call home, we can go there. So I got into this business about 10 years ago after my mom needed 24-hour home care. And that led me to having a conversation with a family member that owned Minute Women. Believe it or not, I didn't come up with the name. And then I ended up buying Minute Women and helping people the way that I wanted to. I was helped with my mom's needs. So it's good to see everybody here, and thanks for having me as the moderator. And we can do the next slide.
Okay, so our mission as an organization, it's really to make aging in place a universally known and widely utilized lifestyle option for older American adults via education, which is a key factor for us in San Diego, collaboration, advocacy, and accessibility to services. So my why is very simple. I worked in a retirement community, a very high-end retirement community during the last economic meltdown, and witnessed what poor planning and investment management can do to somebody in that period of life where they had a vision, they had a goal, they just were not in alignment. My mother had a stroke and developed Parkinson's. My siblings and I were taking care of her for many years. We still are taking care of her. So I've learned a couple of things. We can be wealthy, we can be healthy, but we just don't know what tomorrow brings. So let's maximize today. And I'm going to talk about networking. I was networking, shared my story. The gentleman introduced me to a longtime member at NAIPC. We had a conversation and the rest is history. So certainly maximize your membership. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the existing chapters. I mean, there are quite a few chapters. We're looking to grow in a couple of areas, as you can see. And I was talking to someone in the networking group that I created for some key professionals that I work with. She's an insurance agent. She mentioned to me her mother's mother, her grandmother broke her hip 2 days ago. She's out in Tulsa. I said, hey, let me see if we have a chapter in Tulsa. We do not. So the whole vision here is to help people wherever they're at. It's not about the money. It's not about generating referrals. It's helping people when they need it most. And this opportunity is there. And at some point, I know we're going to have one in Tulsa. The goal is to have them throughout the country and all the metropolitan communities, because this is a beautiful thing we're doing. And the beauty behind it is we're all collaborating, and the 5 pillars are all equally important. So let's grow together. Next slide, please.
So this is how we run. We have a board of directors. There's actually upcoming elections coming up in the next few weeks for the nominations, and then the actual elections are going to be coming up in December. So if you are interested in being part of the board of directors, get in touch with Tara, and she will be happy to explain more information about that to you. Our national leadership is Peter Bell, who I don't believe is here today. We have Tara, who's in the back here, just making sure we don't mess up too badly today. And then we have Jessica Hafer, who's helping us out, go from slide to slide, and we'll be talking later on. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was kind of some of the national committees. We have four committees here. We have ethics, sponsorship, membership, public relations, and marketing. And we're looking for people to join these committees and be involved a bit more on the national level. The sponsorship is really key in terms of needing somebody that has experience writing grants. The PR and the marketing is really more or less right now focused on more online marketing, digital marketing. That doesn't mean you need to be an expert in digital marketing. We can take people that are our experts to novices. It's really just spending some time on a regular basis, posting on LinkedIn, posting on Facebook, and being actively involved and spreading the message of the NAIPC. The ethics are going to be more attorney-led. So if that's something that's in your wheelhouse and you're an attorney, please get in touch with us with that. And then the membership committee, which I'm part of, as well as Donovan. And, it is strongly advised and suggested that we meet on a regular basis, whether that's monthly or every other month, to keep in touch on best practices and the best ways to find new members, keep new members, and to run a tight ship with our individual chapters. Next slide.
Okay, so here we're going to talk about the resources in the program. So the first item under toolkits and guides, and we'll go from top to bottom, is the Act 3 plus resource guide. Now, this is the holy grail of deliverables you can provide to your clients, prospective clients, family members. What's important is that we remain in control of our decisions and what we want from life. I have a 3-year-old, and it's always a battle. Let me tell you, it's like, okay, why do you want to do this? Because I want to do this. Okay, I understand. So that doesn't change as we get older and older, and then we age. It talks about the 5 pillars, and it talks about it from a very warm perspective. Like, what would you like in terms of finances? What does it look like? The whole idea is here is I provide it to my clients. I bring it back to the other members in my group. The 4 pillars, I'm not a master in, but I trust the people in my group, and we dialogue and we solve problems together, because that's my job. They're trusting me with their livelihood. And if I don't ask these questions, then what am I really doing? I'm doing what the advisors in the retirement home were doing, is not planning appropriately. So that's a really great guide. Please take advantage of it. The Cost of Aging Handbook. This is something we use on the local level. It really talks about what are the various options for living arrangements. Now, some of these things I was familiar with, some of these things I had no idea what they were. It's great for knowledge. It's also great for dialogue. Again, you can use the Act 3 as reference, saying, I don't want to live in a community. So you're going to check off those community boxes and say, well, we're not going to talk about that. But it's nice to know the other options. Now, organizing your community for aging in place toolkit. That's the Bible on how to build a chapter. Ryan is building his chapter. I joined a chapter that was formed and is very established. I was fortunate. Ryan's also fortunate because he gets to build the foundation for his chapter and all the details are there. So make sure to utilize it. And if you don't like how your chapter is running, let's be solution focused. Let's take a look at the Bible there, so to speak, and learn, okay, we're not doing this. Can we apply this to our chapter? Because I think we all want to maximize our membership and get the most for our resources and above all, our time. Now, the right home, finding the right place to age toolkit. Actually, I reversed them. So let me go back to the cost of aging handbook. The right home, finding a place to age in place tool guide. That's the one about housing. The cost of aging handbook. That's the one that goes with the Act 3. It talks about the cost of all of the 5 pillars. So Act 3, what does the client want? Cost of aging is what is it going to cost? Organizing your community. How are we going to build our group? Let's grow together. Finding the right home talks about the details around your home. Sorry about the mix up. I hope I did not confuse you. And practical advice articles. Those are just different resources on the website to learn about a different topic from a fellow a member in a different chapter. Just great to grow your knowledge base. Now, the national exposure, we have the website. Great, resourceful, a lot of information and all the toolkits and guides you can access when you log in as a member. It's all there under resources. Newsletter submission form. You take the form, you fill it out. Here's what I want to talk about. You send it out, and ideally it gets on the newsletter. Now, calendar submission form. Let's say we have an event. We want everyone to join, come visit us in San Diego, and then that will then be visible on the calendar. So that's the idea there. Social media platforms and NAIPC-TV. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, so let's connect. And then on YouTube, we have our own channel. And if you're interested in getting on the channel, please reach out to Tara, and she will talk to you about the logistics. HARO reporter requests. These are the things we get an email. This is something I'm looking for, time sensitive, provide some feedback, answer the question that a reporter is asking for. And the annual Age in Place week. It's a serious week for us. That's exactly who we're working towards and who we're catering. And we just had it. Get online and look about what we did, and also get on the YouTube channel, and you can see some of the things that we discussed as well. So that way you can partake in next year's event.
So the next 2 topics are branding and networking. And I would like to say, as the National Aging in Place Member of the Week, I am special because I did some of these things, and you can become the NAIPC Member of the Week, just like me, if you do some of these things as well. I was responding to a HARO request, and then my request got placed in the NAIPC newsletter. So if you're interested in having your brand and your name exposed to all the members in the NAIPC, and of course becoming the NAIPC Member of the Week, then you want to write a blog for the newsletter. Now you could even go a step further and write an article or do a vlog for the blog that's the Blogging in Place. And some of that content could be repurposed onto the NAIPC-TV show. And then, of course, there is the bringing the NAIPC to your neighborhood package, which is a way in which you can, if there's any members in your group, or maybe not members, but people outside of your group that live in a different region of your state or a different part of the state that are interested in starting their own chapter, that is a great resource to be able to say, hey, listen, not only am I a member of the NAIPC, but I also started our own chapter in this area. And that certainly puts you as a thought leader, and it puts you as a someone that's a representative of the Aging in Place movement. And then finally, there's the social media templates on member clicks, excuse me. I was new to this, and I did not realize how many different social media templates. So, you know, in a day and age when it is so crucial to not only be seen in person, but on online as well, maybe you're sitting there and going, what the heck am I going to post today that's going to either show some value or make sure that I am out there and I'm getting noticed. And so sprinkling in some of those social media templates will certainly help promote the group, will help promote yourself and certainly is part of what should be your business and the NAIPC brand, which is aging in place and being advocates for that. And then finally, you have networking. And certainly with COVID, obviously we're all fans of networking if we're on this meetup together. But there's of course the in-person chapter meetings that probably aren't taking place in most places in the country. And then virtual networking events that we're doing today. Member meetups, those are probably going to be more one-to-ones or three-way, four-way conversations on Zoom, or if you're able to, going into coffee shops and doing your one-on-ones. And then volunteering at the National Committee, which we've certainly talked about already, and that gets you involved with more networking through a national level. So next slide, please.
All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Let me switch screens really quick. I am going to give you a quick little walkthrough of the MemberClicks website. So there are a number of tools to utilize here that I just want to make everybody aware of. So just to clarify, we've done a deep dive into this, so I'm not going to get too far into the weeds. However, we do have a recording. So once you've logged into MemberClicks, that's naipc.memberclicks.net, that takes you to the member portal. Once you've logged in, you should land on your landing page with a hello, my name is, and you'll be able to see a lot of things. Can you guys all see? Okay, just making sure. You'll see a couple of things right underneath. So we've got some recordings, we've got some reminders. Just always be sure to check this. This hasn't been updated in a while because we haven't had anything new. But any kind of important information that we want you to know about the portal or links, they're going to be posted here. So we do have a link down here, if you'll see my cursor, the MemberClicks tutorials. We do have a couple of videos that you guys can check out at your leisure that go kind of give a deep dive into the website and how to use it, how to use the communications tools, all of that. So I'm just going to do a quick overview. If you go to my dashboard, drop down over here, once you're in, you're going to see your own personal profile page. Under the My Profile drop down, here we go, you'll see Invoices. This is a straight shot to paying your invoice. So if for some reason you can't find your invoice, but you know you got an email, so you know what's due, you can always access your invoice here. By clicking on Invoices, it takes you directly into your account, and all you have to do is click the link, excuse me, on the far left, and that opens up the invoice for you. So I have a ad hoc here just as a sample. There is a live link in the Invoices for payment, so you can always use that. This is just an alternative if you can't find it. However, we just had an update from MemberClicks where we can now resend those invoices. So if something happens and you can't find it, you can always reach out to me to resend it, or you can go here and just take care of it yourself. Either way, just want you to know those options are there. Under the My Features, you see committees and e-lists. E-lists are the email lists that you're a member of. So as you join NAIPC, we put everybody in the NAIPC member e-list. Those are the emails that you guys get for the HERA requests, the member-only blasts for registration. All of that goes through this list. So that's a straight shot to all of the members. Very important that you keep that toggled on. We don't want it to go off. If you do, you're going to miss a lot of information coming out. Committees. For anybody that's part of a committee, and I'm not just talking about the national committees, this is also a chapter. So if you go into committees, this is also another form of communication. You will see that there are a number I have listed here because I'm an admin on all of these. However, most of you will probably see a chapter. If you're part of a national committee, it might appear here. If you're one of the chapter officers, you may appear as a council of chapters. This is a direct shot of communication to anybody in that committee. So you can see all of the members listed. You can contact them. This link takes you to their account page. You can drop files. So we share the minutes for each of our meetings here. Just makes it easier to access. That way you're not constantly having to reach out to us or wait for us to send you what you need. There's a lot of it already here. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, another form of communication I want everybody to be aware of is the fact that you can not only check chapters, you can look for certain members. So for example, let's say you want to find somebody in Chicago that can help you with a family member. By simply clicking on the chapter and hitting the search button, it's going to bring up all of the chapter members that are active in that area. So that's a straight shot. Another great tool for the directory is that you can search by service. So these are straight shots. It makes it easy for you to connect with that member. I recommend that all of you test it out, use it, make sure your profile looks like you want it to. If there are any additions, you can make those changes in your dashboard, like I showed you earlier. Also, there are instructions in the MemberClicks tutorials that are linked on that landing page. So you can go in there and find out in detail exactly how to do all of that. And the third thing I want to draw attention to are the resources page. Based on the previous slide that you guys just looked at, that Donovan and Ryan were talking about, these are a lot of the resources that are mentioned there. You can access all of these from the members only drop-down menu under resources and documents. We also have a page that has the NAIPC logos where you can go and download those logos. But on this page, each of these is linked to a PDF that you can download for yourself, anybody else. We have the Cost of Aging Handbook. We do have the Act 3. We have the resource guide. So this Act 3 resource guide is just a tool that kind of explains how you can use Act 3 other than just the template. So presentations, things like that. We have some chapter documents. We put a chapter sponsorship package together that can also be applied just to members. You don't have to be a part of the chapter to use that. Same thing with the chapter formation package. We list our tool guides and kits, any kind of brochures or flyers. We are now listing our PowerPoint presentations. So a couple of presentations that have been big in the last couple of months, our Aging in Place Week presentations. These are just the PowerPoints, mind you. And our State of the Association, so you can refer back. All of those recordings are on the NAIPC-TV channel, so you can watch those live, but these are just the slides in case you need them. In addition, we have added a social media template section. So these are some of the posts that, that the guys were talking about that you can use on your own social media. These can be used for anything in Twitter and Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can modify them. You can use them as they are. They are there for your use. We'll continue to update these. We do have a couple down here that are state specific that we used during a campaign. So we'll continue to add to these and to use these, but please feel free to use them as well. If you guys create some, please send them to us. We'll add them to the list. You can never have too many. And then down at the bottom, we have some submission forms. These are mostly for chapter use. However, there are a couple of different things in here. So reimbursement forms, chapter petition. These are just some of the basic forms that are necessary on the back end for us. We just made it easy for them to live here. So this is an important page. We update it after everything new comes in. I try to let you guys all know that it's there, but you can always just check it and make sure that you're seeing what we're seeing. So those are the three big things. One of the things that I just wanted to make note of, we have added a member training board. This is for members to share courses or trainings that they are putting on that is open to NAIPC members. So again, this is something that only members can access, this whole drop-down menu here. So any kind of board, any kind of member training that we upload, I send a blast out to let you guys know that it's up. These are good for CEUs. If you're looking to get CAP certified, anything like that, this could get posted here. So if you've got stuff you'd like to share, please send that to me and we'll get it up for you. So let me shift back here. And I'm going to pass it back to Ryan and Donovan.
Thanks, Jessica. And so, this slide talks a bit more about, it's It's very a lot of content here, but it's about what you would like to accomplish from joining the NAIPC. And so, you know, the NAIPC costs money. You paid some type of dues for this. You're looking to find out what you want to get out of it. And so, to give you an example of the reason why I joined the NAIPC is that I do private home care, as I mentioned. We're generally caring for people that have the funds and are well-to-do to be able to hire one-on-one care. And one of the things I noticed was that there's certainly a lot of people that can't afford those services. So I wanted to be able to give back in some way. And one of the missions I had for a previous year in 2019 was to join a board of directors of a nonprofit. Well, then the NAIPC came by and said, oh, well, this is great. This scratches that itch. This allows me to be able to give back and to help out the community. And hopefully when there are individuals that maybe aren't able to pay for my services outright, well, then I have the Rolodex, I have the contacts, I know the people in my NAIPC group to be able to bring them in and help out those individuals rather than just saying, whoops, sorry, can't help you out and do these things. And it allows me to give back. So I think it's important to understand why you're here, what you want to accomplish so that you can hit those goals and you can work with your chapter and chapter members to be able to accomplish the things that you're looking to get out of the NAIPC. And Donovan, I'll give it over to you.
Thank you. Great presentation, Ryan. So I joined for two reasons, specifically the experience I had. One, taking care of my mother. I worked my way through school, worked 2 jobs. We didn't have financial means. It's a struggle. It's a struggle to care for a loved one. And it's also a strain on the individual, the family member. And then watching the retirement community unfold, like, you know, I'm first generation. I'm like, you know, this is kind of what happens to us. Like, I don't know, what am I supposed to know? And then you see like 3rd, 4th generation Americans, highly accomplished, esteemed individuals. And then overnight, they lose 50, 60, 70% of their net worth. And at that time, I was running the dining room. So I built solid personal relationships with these people. And it hurt my heart. And looking at the statistics, and I studied technology in school, there's about 10 years where we're probably going to have poor health and still have life to live. And I think we're all here for the fact that we cater to individuals in that space, regardless of what pillar we fall under. So I knew I was going to want to connect with individuals that can help bridge that gap and allow someone to live comfortably, irrespective of what they need. So my intention for joining this group was to find those professionals and also to do as much education and outreach as possible. I enjoy public speaking. I love educating. If business follows, splendid. If not, splendid, all good. I'm just practicing my ability to speak, kind of selfish. And we do a lot of education down in San Diego, and we connect, we network. I've gotten a little bit of business, and that's okay. I'm grateful for it. But I still keep coming back because I'm getting what I want out of the organization. And what my intent is to educate and to provide opportunities for my clients using people that I trust, know, and have rapport with. And those are the 2 things this organization provides me. So it's important to establish your why and how you can leverage the organization and start working on your why, because you feel a lot better than just, I didn't get a referral this month, I'm sad. And if you want referrals, that's great. We all want referrals. But this organization is more than just sending business to one another. That kind of comes with over time. And I'd love to talk about networking in my group. So if you're interested, don't hesitate. We'll have some dialogue. It'll be very open, and we'll answer some questions. Next slide, please.
So I'm going to take this slide where this is really about your first 5 weeks and how to leverage the national brand. Week 1 is creating an online profile and setting up one-to-one meetings, a little bit of what kind of Jessica was pointing out in the member clicks. Number 2 is registering for the virtual networking and the member meetup events. Week 3, participating in the LinkedIn group and discussions and sharing and aging in place related content. Week 4 is becoming familiar with the Act 3 resource guide that Donovan was explaining earlier, and adding videos to the NAIPC TV YouTube page or the Facebook page. And then finally in week 5, joining a committee or in a volunteer or for a special project, writing a blog, a post, or a newsletter submission. I think what you'll find with really the last 3 weeks of these first 5 weeks is that the NAIPC is going to be a situation where, you know, the greatest band in the world by the greatest lyricist of all time, the Beatles, John McCartney said, "The love you take is equal to the love that you make," right? So we're not necessarily making love here, but the point being is that what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. You know, people might be familiar with BNI, giver's gain, or what you're putting in is what you're going to be getting out. So the last 3 weeks that we're talking about is that if you're able to spend a little bit of time and working with your chapter and working with the national brand in being able to give a little bit back by repurposing some content and being involved online, you're going to get out of that as well. And being involved, and to give you an example, I was involved in the membership committee with Donovan as a first-time membership chair for my chapter. And that half-an-hour meeting allowed me, or 45-minute meeting, allowed me to bring so much back to my group to be able to improve how we do things, improve the processes, because Donovan's been doing this for 1.5 years. I've been doing this for 4 months. So putting yourself out there and helping the national and helping your group is only going to be able to invite people to come in and help you out as well. And that's that slide.
Okay, so we're going to do 2 breakout rooms. I'll be discussing networking. I'm not going to talk that much. I'm just going to give you the backstory and the opportunities to really dialogue and share ideas and how we can grow our businesses. Like COVID has been like someone telling me you're on timeout and you have to stay in your room. Like I do that to my son, and I feel like that's what's happening right now, but life has to go on. So we have to be dynamic in what we do on a daily basis to continue to grow our businesses. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I'll be in that breakout room.
And I'll be doing business development and branding. So I'll be explaining kind of my experiences with branding and I guess developing business with being an owner of a private agency and some of the things I'm finding useful. But certainly there will be time for you all to share your experiences, because maybe you're doing something that's working for you that I can incorporate into my marketing and branding.
Okay, so we're going to try something new. Everybody is going to get to select their breakout room. So in just a second, as I launch it, if you are on the newest version of Zoom, which I believe is the 5.4.1, you should see a little box pop up that has Ryan's breakout room and Donovan's breakout room listed. You can click the number to the side to join either one. It doesn't matter. For those of you that maybe aren't on the latest version, that's okay. Don't panic. We can still assign you to a breakout room. So as everybody joins their room, those that are left, I will just assign from the main room. So just give it just a second, but you should see that box pop up momentarily.
And just remember, I am the NAIPC member of the week. Donovan is not. So take that into consideration when you're making your choices.
I'll turn it back over to you guys. I think it's just questions and answer time, though. Thanks for the breakout room. We had a great room with Ryan. I'm sure you all did too with Donovan. Is there any questions that we could address?
I just want to say that I'm glad the website's been changed. Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
It's a work in progress. We're working on it.
Thank you.
I have a question. Could we potentially create a 5 to 10 minute tutorial that we could play at every other meeting for all members to get a better understanding of what we all should be doing, and that way because going through the membership chair process and coming to the end of my year, talking to people that are, due to re-sign, they're like, I didn't get value. It's like, okay, well, maybe it wasn't conveyed, or maybe you had a different intention on why you joined the organization. So I feel like when they join, we should blast them out a video to say, hey, this is how you can maximize your membership. Watch the video.
Donovan, I think that, was it the five things that it was, you guys went through with what you should do each week, was a perfect thing to tell people, because it wasn't really, I joined, I know you guys probably know Helen Shearer Diamond and a lot of the members in my chapter. I joined for the networking and to learn more. And the one thing that people don't realize is the amount of things you learn from this group. It's not just the networking, but that 5-step of what you should do week 1, week 2, week 3, that I think would help somebody. Don't you think so, Peter? You're on.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm specifically talking about the member clicks.
Yeah.
Oh, the member clicks. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can do that. We have a video on there, but we could probably condense it.
And then
Sure.
just blast it out to new members, like as an initial email, to make sure they're leveraging it. Like there's no excuses. Like, yeah, you're going to get an email to walk you through the process of leveraging the technology. That's
Even old members, old members.
And most of them are not. You're correct.
Because the one in our chapter that's the best at this is Ronnie Ginzer. And she's on this, she was at least a minute ago. She's the best one for handling even when it was the old website. Ronnie could do anything on it.
But I agree with Pam. I would like a copy of the first 5 weeks as a template that we can print and give to the new members. So if we could get a copy of that, that would be lovely.
I can do that for you, Carolyn.
That's the whole vision behind the membership committee, is we're all going to get together. We're all going to make this better. We're going to grow the national organization. And then when my referral partner, whose grandmother broke her hip in Tulsa, I can say, yeah, I know Susan in Tulsa. She's freaking awesome. Let me put you in contact with Susan. So I would say that's the mission or the vision of the organization. And I think it will take a collaborative effort. So if we can all work together, it makes it a lot easier, because we all know people. It's like LinkedIn, we're all connected everywhere.
No, but I think these little videos that you're doing are perfect to get people into this again. Because you join a lot of things. I don't even go to the Women's Council of Realtors anymore. Well, now that in COVID, but it was, it took too much time out of your day before. You got something out of it, but it was, you may as well block, it was more than 2 or 3 closings. By the time you got where you were going, did all the stuff and left, you were wasting too much time. So this is great. And I've got to go because I've got another one, but thank you so much.
Bye, Pam.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Donovan, I really like that idea, because where I struggle is I talk to a lot of lawyers and like geriatric doctors, and when they have billable time, they have like 6 minutes to give me because I'm not billable time. So having something to follow up, that they could watch at their convenience and is professional, I would really, really appreciate that.
And that's why I come in with my why. If someone's like, I got 6 minutes, or I'm going to charge you money, like, I don't want to work with you. Like, see you later, dude. Like, I'll just walk out and never call them again. If someone's like, okay, I care, this makes a lot of sense, and they give you the time of day, like, I want to do a one-to-one with that gentleman. Like, I want to bring you business, and a lot of it, because you're unique. So I guess that's the message behind networking. And if any of you are interested that we're not in my group or want to do a one-to-one, or want to tell me how terrible this presentation was, please reach out to me, because I'm always trying to get better.
You did great, Donovan. I mean, I don't know if your room had props like Ryan did, but that's why.
Member of the week. I mean, like.
tough to compete.
Didn't have cats or props, so you probably got us beat.
I even have props that I didn't get a chance to use.
Oh boy, next time.
Next time.
Ryan, I'm not sending you that thank you card.
Well, does anyone have any final questions before I let Donovan or Ryan wrap us up? No? All right, you guys have any closing remarks?
Just enjoy the holidays. I know it's unique, but it should still be a time to enjoy it with your loved ones and your friends and family, and just maximize the holidays because it's still the holidays. And irrespective of who wins the presidential election, take care of those you love. Those are my two messages.
Thank you for attending and listening to my rambling. I appreciate it. It was good to see all of you, and hopefully we'll see you on another networking event like this soon.
Well, thank you, everyone. Our next event is actually November 18th. It's the virtual networking event that will feature the Minneapolis chapter. So we'll do something similar to this. If you haven't been to one of our events before, we have the members highlight. They each get 2 minutes, whoever wants to speak. And then we have breakout rooms where you have more one-on-one, more intimate conversations. So be on the lookout for that registration email on Monday. You can always find our events on member clicks on the calendar, and look forward to seeing you guys at a future event. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.